Hey, Voltron here. I decided to do a video in my living room, and don't be surprised if the camera's a bit more shaky because I'm literally just holding it, but I realized that I haven't done like a top 5 in each position, currently in the NBA, and a couple, like, I know I posted it only about a week ago, but I mean, I did the video almost a month ago, so... yeah, but anyway, this is about the top 3 big threes in the 90s. And honestly, I had to break the rules a bit because the 90s was almost completely dominated by Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the East, and then the West it was John Stockton and Karl Malone, those guys at Utah. But I kind of just gave away 2 of the things. So, let's get started. Now, number 3 is where I had to break the rules because this was going to supposedly be one of the greatest dynasties of all time, was the Orlando Magic. And by the way, one of the players will be repeating in next video about this. Shaquille O'Neal at center, Anthony Penny Hardaway at point guard, and then at shooting guard, or just a wing in general, Nick Anderson. All of these guys, like Nick Anderson, I think was the oldest one when they went to the finals, and he was, like, out of these 3, and he was 24, whereas Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway were both 22. Both of them had their, like, own Nike brands, which, to let you know how, like, uncommon that is, it's like, it was basically, there might have been 5 players at the time, including Michael Jordan, that had a Nike franchise, and 2 of the players on the same team had one. So yeah, that's 3. 2 is one of the ones I mentioned, the Utah Jazz, which consisted of John Stockton, Karl Malone, and Jeff Hornacek. Jeff Hornacek is going to be the head coach of the Knicks next season, and just saying, John Stockton and Karl Malone, if you know anything about basketball fundamentals, these 2 were the number 1 pick and roll situation in the history of basketball. John Stockton is number 1 in league history in assists, and Karl Malone, I believe, is 7th in of all-time scoring. So Karl Malone played power forward, John Stockton played point guard, and then Jeff Hornacek played shooting guard. This big 3 never won a finals, but they went to many NBA finals. They lost all of them to the Chicago Bulls. Which brings me to number 1, the Chicago Bulls, led by Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and then eventually Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is from the Pistons. I mean, I don't think I included him. I think I put Bill Laimbeer instead of Dennis Rodman, but Dennis Rodman, arguably one of the best defensive players of all time. Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time. And Scottie Pippen, the best sidekick of all time. It was an amazing team. Obviously, their record was of 72-10 was broken, but you also got to think the NBA by this year's Golden State Warriors. But the NBA had like a lot more Eastern, or they faced a lot more powerful teams, whereas Golden State's division, the Pacific, I mean, the really only other good team in that division is, I guess, maybe Clippers and then Portland, and those are the only 2 other decent teams, whereas the Lakers and, well, I don't know exactly who is all in the Pacific, but anyway, yeah, it's not that great of a division, so they easily won it, whereas Michael Jordan was going up against, like, Brad Daugherty and all the Cleveland Cavaliers in their own division. The Pistons, they're also in Central. Just Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller and those guys. So that's why I rank Bulls at number 1. Besides, in the 90s, they won 6 NBA titles. They had, and okay, I think they would have had more, but Michael Jordan won 3 in a row. Then once his father died, which by the way, Michael Jordan grew up, played college basketball in North Carolina. Go Tar Heels. But, crap. Anyway, okay, yeah. So after Michael Jordan won the NBA final, his third straight NBA finals, he quit the sport of basketball and played minor league baseball. And supposedly did a lot of gambling, and so some people say that the league banned him. Like my probably favorite YouTuber, and believe me, I suck at making videos, Mike Korzimba. He's my favorite basketball analysis guy who does a bunch of what if scenarios and talks about different players. He said that Michael Jordan he was already in some gambling trouble, and the league banned him. But yeah, he played minor league baseball, then he came back, and a year after coming back, he won 3 more NBA titles. It's pretty impressive. And he ended off his career with some other team in early 2000s. I forgot who it was, but yeah, I don't know. But you also notice this. A lot of times the great players, they kind of the end of their careers intersect with the beginning of another's. I might make a video about this because this is actually very interesting. Where, one example is you have, Michael Jordan exiting the league, and the year before I think he retired, LeBron James was drafted. And now he's being debated, is he the next, is he the next greatest of all time player? I mean, honestly, I think he will pass Larry Bird for top small forward of all time by the end of his career. But currently, Bird's ahead. But I think LeBron James will enter the top 3 players of all time, probably along with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Mike. At least in my opinion. And that's it, guys, and Sabra!